Barcelona have officially started the 2025-26 season with a win away at Mallorca, a 3-0 win, and as we expected, as it was last season under Flick, just pure entertainment again, not just the goals and not just the big win, but just everything, how the goals were scored, the red cards, the refereeing decisions that were happening in this game, the moments where there was head loss from Mallorca players and, just the other players just beefing on the pitch. Just really great stuff. There's a couple things to go over, so let's get into it. If we do start with the lineup, now I'm hearing that apparently La Liga is getting a bit more strict with screenshots of the game. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Last season, I did put screenshots of when the game was happening, just as it was, on the ESPN feed. I'm not sure if it's true, if they're cracking down on that. I know they are doing so with piracy. So just for this video until I, look more into the situation, we're just gonna, stick with the lineup. I might include a few other pictures of the players, but anyway, it's a match review, so you come here to hear me talk. So, we're just gonna play it safe. But anyway, getting to the lineup, very strong lineup, kind of what we expected after the good preseason we've had. Joan Garcia, his debut, his first game as a Barcelona player, and I was so happy with how he did today. And I was just so excited because we finally have a young, new elite goalkeeper that, really can show that he is going to be not only just one of the best, but the best goalkeeper in the world. Hopefully this season, we have to wait for the big matches. But he did start. I think he did really well today, just entirely in the game, sweeping, had some crucial saves here and there. He wasn't afraid to rush out and, challenge, even if it was kind of risky or whatever it was. It was really, really good stuff by him. Backline, as we expected, Balde, Kubarsi, Araujo starting after Inigo has departed, and Eric instead of Kunde actually this time. Not sure why that was. Could be because, Araujo's ball playing maybe isn't the best, so Flick wants somebody that is a bit more, accustomed to the style and a bit more better with their feet. Not sure. That's just kind of an assumption, just what I heard, but no, good back line. Pedri and De Jong in midfield, they did great today. It's just kind of impossible to get the ball off them. Really good stuff. Then Rafinha, Fermin, Yamal, and Ferran as the front four. And Fermin, I kind of didn't have the best game. It kind of is that thing where I think Fermin and Olmo kind of alternate, and sometimes they will do better depending because they're different profiles. They'll do better depending on the game. But it was really good to see that front line. And yeah, it was just a really, really good start to the game. The first half, we were pressing well, winning the ball back. Yamal had skill in like the third minute against Moaiticuler. And, I will give props to Moaiticuler on Mallorca because, as a left back, he's been one of my favorite left backs for the past few years, and especially in La Liga, he always does well. So he was making things difficult for Lamine today, and just in general for Barca. Very aggressive, very, not afraid for the challenge. So I will give props to him. Eventually, obviously, Lamine, ended up cooking anyway, but there's only so much you can do against him. So I will give props to him. Very good stuff, but obviously we're here to talk about Barca. So in the 7th minute, a beautiful goal. Rafinha, makes a run. Yamal, the connection we've been seeing all last season, and we're going to continue to see this season. Just a beautiful cross from Lamine. Rafinha with the header. It was 1-0 already. It looked like we were just going to score a bunch this game. Pedri, I want to talk about as well. Pedri, as we've been used to, bossing the midfield, controlling the game really well, setting the tempo, but also just defensively. He was so good last season and continued it this season. He did some after the goal, a few minutes after the goal, he did some tracking back and was able to carry the ball out, draw a foul. So it is nice that, defensively we seem to be really solid. And that was kind of the whole game. Our press was really, really good. I think Flick worked on that for that to be better because it was really good last season. And obviously it's a very high press. You're going to win the ball back quickly, but it was at times last season kind of disorganized and not, the best. But this season, hopefully it will be even better because this game, obviously, from what we saw, it was pretty good. Joan Garcia, I think, was doing really well. He made a really good close range save in like about the 20th minute. Great shot from the Mallorca player. Makes a save. Really good stuff from him. Now, there was a weird thing why I said at the beginning, the refereeing decisions. Ferran, in the 24th minute, He shoots on goal, and my God, what a strike this was! Absolutely ridiculous. Very powerful. It dips. These are the strikes I like a lot. I love those where they hit really hard, but they kind of dip instead of going kind of just straight and up. But it was really good, but it was very confusing because he shoots. The Mallorca players, one player goes down, clutching his head. And obviously, when a player clutches their head, the referee's supposed to blow, stop the game. But the referee didn't. He had the whistle in his mouth. He didn't. He didn't blow to stop the game. Mallorca players clutching his head. Everyone kind of like stops. Ferran shoots anyway. Goalkeeper, doesn't really know what to do. Everyone kind of just stops and it's like, what a great strike, but no goal. But it ended up counting because the referee had not blown his whistle when Ferran had shot, so it wasn't a foul or anything. And you could see on the bench they were pretty upset about that. They were confused. I don't even think just Mallorca players were confused or fans. I think even the players on our side on Barca were even confused as well. Goal ended up counting, and I won't lie, if that happened against us, I would be pretty upset because yeah, you could fault the Mallorca players for, not playing until the whistle, which you should do. You should play until the whistle no matter what. But at the same time, when the referee does that, where the whistle is in his mouth apparently, and he doesn't stop the play, it is kind of confusing. So if it was against us, I would be pretty upset. So it was a very weird goal. But I think after that is when the head loss really started, because Mallorca ended up getting 2 red cards in 4 minutes. One, Lamine does a lovely explosive dribble, tries to get past a few players, gets taken down, and it's, I think it was a second yellow actually for I don't know how to say his name, Moralinas, I don't know, something like that. But it was a red card for him, so they were pretty upset with that. Two, and then after, John Garcia comes out sweep, very aggressive, trying to get the ball out, and Moriki does a really, really high kick. Obviously, it was a red card. It was a yellow at first, but they went to VAR. Not sure why VAR was checking so long because he completely, even though he was trying to go for the ball, he completely missed, and it was a very dangerous tackle that kind of scraped Jordan Garcia. Luckily, nothing happened, so it kind of missed him, but you can't be putting your foot that high. And they were down to 9 men. And I think after that, you were kind of thinking, oh, okay, we're going to score a lot of goals. But kind of the thing is, just in general with football, but how it is in La Liga, it feels like the less players they have, the more difficult a game becomes because they're just going to park the bus. So while the first half was really entertaining, the second half there was just not really much going on, not really much to say. Olmo came on at halftime for Fermin. Like I said, Fermin I think had not the best game, so you need a different profile on there. And then Barca kept having a couple chances here and there, nothing really concrete. John Garcia continued his good, sweeping and coming out, to make sure to prevent goals. Defensively we were really good, and especially get a clean sheet is great. We had a couple debuts. Rashford came on, made his official debut as a Barca player. Joffrey Torrance as well. It was good to see him get some minutes. Gavi came on, Ferran, Kubarsi, and Balde came off. Koundé came on a little bit later. But yeah, it was kind of just the same thing. Not really much going on. A few chances. Mallorca were just sitting really, really deep. Basically all 9 men in the box. I mean, you can't fault them. It's really nothing you can do. You have 9 men. You kind of have to hold out and hope for the best. So they defended really well, and it was really tough to score, making things difficult. Rashford, I think, it was okay. It's kind of not the most ideal game. It's good for him to get minutes though, because he does, need to settle into the team because he's not used to this team or the Barca, style. So it is good for him to get some minutes. He didn't really do much. Had a few touches here and there. Tried to do some dribbles, and he was centrally, most of the time as a 9. I really think obviously he should be playing more on the left because I don't think he has. I mean, it's not just him. I think Ferran and most players just don't have that. We don't have a natural striker, so they don't have that 9 like instinct, kind of like Lewandowski does, where you know how to make the right runs and know how to move the correct way. So not really much happened for him. Joffrey as well, got some touches, but we didn't really do much. Anytime he did, I think like I said, it was good for it to get minutes. But when he was out on the left and then we're crossing in, the crosses were going nowhere. Really poor. But hopefully he could get some more minutes and improve. But yeah, right at the end too, not much happy in the game. Lamine gets kind of provoked The ball goes out. He's kind of upset about a decision, and the Mallorca players start provoking him. They start kind of going bickering back and forth. And just like how we were used to with Messi many years ago, the worst thing you could do with this type of player is provoke them. Because what does he do? He grabs the ball, skips past three players, and just curls it top left. Unbelievable goal in the last minute to make it 3-0. And it's just what we've been used to. I mean, this whole game, especially, he was really trying to go for that. There was a lot of curling shots he was having. He was just getting close to it, but not, just wide the post. And he finally got it on his last attempt. And as he deserves, he gets man of the match. Incredible stuff. And just really, really good from the team. I feel like we're kind of spoiled. I was seeing on the timeline, like, the fans and me as well, we were begging for more goals. But, at the end of the day, a clean sheet, 3 goals, a good start to the season. They all count the same. So it was really good to see. I don't think I have much to say about the other players. I think, De Jong did really well. Araujo, I think, I would say he did okay. That's not to say he did bad or anything, good. I think he didn't have much to do. And there was a few times kind of he was a bit aggressive. We know he can be really physical and be really aggressive. So there were a few times where it was like, oh, okay, maybe you need to relax and time it correctly. So because against bigger teams, you might, you don't want to see that with him where he's just making rash decisions and whatever. But I think he did pretty well. Did what he could. Hopefully he continues to improve. Despite all the criticism and stuff we have about Araujo, I really do hope that this is the season he will really, really, redeem himself and do really good. We need that from everybody. And yeah, not really much I have to say. Just like I said, good start to the season, and hopefully we can make this a historic season. I will be on the channel trying to revamp the designs. I'm still in the process of that. Kind of. I think every season, pretty much, I'll change the designs up. Where it be for the thumbnails or just kind of like my stuff in general. But you guys will let me know what you think about that. Anyway, as always, Visca Barca, and I'll see you guys next time.